Hello, 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 oh, hello again. This is Joel, the middle child, coming to you late night on another dive. So forgive me, I've been sick the past week. Um, Not COVID, but another respiratory infection, and it sucked. It was minor compared to COVID, however. So let me get into the topic. So, who has been on everyone's mind recently? Miss B. Renner. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know who she was. Um, Probably since I got out of high school back in 2010, I kind of took a hiatus from social media and all that stuff. So I did not, I was aware of it, the Instagram, all that stuff. I was aware of it, but I wasn't actively involved in social media and all that stuff. So I would hear stuff from other people, and I did not know who Brittany was up until the whole PJ Washington thing. Now, PJ is a fellow Hornet, and I say fellow because I am a Charlotte Knighty. I actually used to work at the arena for some years while I was in college. Got to meet a lot of players. Kimba Wash, Kimba Walker, Patrick Ewing was there. God, that dude was tall. MJ himself, but I haven't been there recently. Um, I do want to say probably the last game I was there, I was actually there as a guest at the Charlotte Hornets arena. I got to watch Kobe. Not floor seats, but right behind the team. Kobe nailed a jumper to ice the game. Cliche to Kobe. The I want to say like actually right in front of us. Actually, it was like right on the elbow, turnaround fadeaway jumper, clock winding down. Typical Kobe. Rest in peace. But aside from that, I'm not too familiar with PJ. I mean, other than him being a Hornet, and to be honest, like I said, I've been taking a hiatus from all of social media, so I had to dive into some things. And there were some things I heard about the Brittany Renner interviews, both the DJ Academic one and the most recent Kevin Samuels one. And I was actually shocked by the Kevin Samuels one. Um, of course, the DJ Academic one already came out, and I already planned on doing a dive and a reflex on it, which is my reaction show. But now I'm gonna also add the Kevin Samuels one to it. So shout out to Kevin Samuels. And it's been funny to me. Like life in general is funny to me. It's humorous. Um, Maybe I'm a little facetious, but how people have been taking have Brittany Renner's stuff online too seriously. So, for those who aren't familiar, apparently through doing internet digging, or like I said, this isn't a deep dive, this is just a general dive. So, digging into Brittany, if you're not familiar with her, she, based on what the public knows about her, is an IG model. That's what she's famous for. That's what she's known for. She wrote a book similar to Superhead about sleeping with rappers and entertainers, etc. And actually, this one right here. No. All right, perverts. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Don't. No, no, not here. Don't do that here. So she wrote that book and got a lot of publicity for it, of course. And if you guys watched the last dive I did, you will know about whom I did that dive on and how I talked about his creation of who we know today as not only Paris Hilton and others, um, but Kim Kardashian. And it was Shiraz Hassan. So essentially, B Ren, I don't believe she hired Shiraz. She actually did it herself, the best to my knowledge. She isn't on Shiraz's list, so that is well, I want to say it's awesome because her net worth is nowhere near Kim Kardashian's or Paris Hilton's or the ones that did hire Shiraz, because Kim is a billionaire. And if I do recall, Miss Brittany here, her net worth is nowhere near a billion. It's high. It's probably higher than most of you watching, but it's not a billion. She's not a billionaire. But let me get a little something going on. Okay. Now, like I said before, I wasn't too familiar with Miss Brittany, but I found it interesting because diving into the manosphere the past year and the red pill this past year, um, I was in a couple of discussions with people. I was absorbing some content from individuals talking about dating and stuff and how it is today, the dynamics between men and women, and the dynamics between black men and black women. And Brittany Renner's story, it's not that much different. In fact, I asked the question um, to those that will watch this, is she to you considered to be the typical modern woman? I actually believe yes, very much so. There are some notes that I'll go over when I do the reflex. Uh, Still looking into seeing how I'm gonna do that. If I just play sound clips and stuff from the DJ Academic interview, and then maybe a little bit of Kevin Samuels, but I'll probably have to ask for his permission because he does require that. So that'll be coming up probably next week or so. But based on what I do have written down, there are a lot of parallels between what she says. Of course, I believe there were some childhood traumas. Actually, early in the interview, DJ Academics, during his interview, he got into that very early. He was like, "I saw you as being someone who was hurt, or that whole trauma thing," which turned out to be fairly true. But I'm not sure how much she did to get the proper therapy for that. I would be interested to know if she did or not. But what I will say is the career path she chose was actually very interesting because it parallels to what we might see with the typical modern women. They might not want to go down a certain path, but the allure of money, fame, and status attracts them to it. And when I say attract them to it, I'm pretty sure we're all aware of the most recent trend nowadays, OnlyFans and online content, where individuals are making explicit content, and for women, that's been their go-to when it comes to making money, especially when it comes to making money off of men. So it didn't surprise me technically that she would go this route because she was actually fairly talented prior to going the route she did go. And I want to touch on that because even this most recent story, the whole Jackson State thing, of course, I saw it for what it was. Actually, when I first heard about it, I already knew about Dion being there and what he was trying to look to accomplish while he was there. So, if for those who don't know Deion Sanders, he's known as Primetime. He's known as being one of the greatest, if not the greatest, football players to play the game of football. Big time. Showtime. Talented two-way athlete, offense and defense, all around. He knows what it takes to get there. Both his sons, I believe, are collegiate athletes. I don't think both play for him currently at Jackson State. At least one of them does, if not both, or all of them. But of course, I was aware of the whole Brittany Renner situation because of the PG Washington's thing, but I didn't know she had ties to Jackson State. And I don't believe a lot of you or people out there actually knew it too. So this is where I talk about this in a video where I don't believe I released it yet, but I talk about jumping to conclusions and how I'm skeptical. I'm always skeptical when I first hear things, especially if it's kind of like one of those things where I know there's a alternative path or method that could be done here. Because I'm glad I did the Shiraz Hassan video first, because he actually had a strategy where he would intentionally get any type of publicity for his people. So when it came to what she's doing, the tactic of any publicity is good publicity, it very much made sense. I knew there were people that like to do the Dark Knight rap. And for those who don't know, the Dark Knight, there's that famous quote in that movie, which is probably one of the top 50 greatest films of all time, in my opinion. Um, The Dark Knight by Harvey Dent's character, where he says something to the effect of, you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So, in a sense, some people they play the villain because that's what gets them views. We saw it with Miley Cyrus. We saw it with some of Kim K's stuff. I mean, she released a sex tape and all that stuff. Paris Hilton too, with the partying and stuff. Um, of course, Kim K is a billionaire now. Miley Cyrus, she's living it up. Platinum artist, I believe. So there was a lot of publicity generated from the tactics they use. And now it brings us to the social media aspect. Now, I did say during that video that it was intentional. Everything done there was intentional. There was a plan. So that was able to propel someone like Kim K to billionaire status. However, with Brittany Renner, it's slightly different because I don't, like I said, I don't think she actually hired this guy. So therefore, she's not on that level. She's not like a billionaire. She's a thousandaire, maybe a millionaire, although I doubt it, because of this article I'm looking at here. It's got her net worth at 500. Of course, that's better than most. Let's just be real. She's a 92 baby. February. Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Nowhere. At least that's by her standards. And this is where I knew her from, this situation here. So I found that interesting. And when I first heard it, and then there was a clip of her where apparently she was like, it hinted me, it gave me a big hint because I was already suspecting something. Now, there are some articles that I have where, of course, these articles and videos, they're in the description, so feel free to go check them out and read them yourself, please. But there are some articles that I have found where they were talking a little bit about the situation because, like, from the outside looking in, we're never going to know 100% of everything. We can just speculate. And to be honest, I'm not the type of person to do this, but I use it as a learning lesson because when you speak the truth, it's truth. You know, even if you're a famous person, like some people say stuff is anecdotal. Well, technically, it's not anecdotal. What I do know is people like to lie to make anecdotal. I know there's typically more underneath. It's the same way, like why most relationships, if not all relationships online, are fake. They only post the highlight reels on social media. Everyone knows this. So it doesn't surprise me why some people always have these anecdotal stories despite observable reality being very much different. The majority of people being single, i.e., unmarried. The high divorce rates, the widening wealth gaps, the decrease in attendance in college, and the men lying flat, and that whole movement. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And I believe this Brittany situation is a good way to kind of talk about it. Because what I was going to touch on was when she made that comment, I'm the hoe and a housewife, I had already assumed she was actually telling the truth. I believe she was talking the truth. Here's why. She says in public how many people she slept with. It's a fairly high number compared to myself and in general. So if you want to say, what's a high body count, her body count is high compared to, in my opinion. If I were to roughly estimate it, I'd say maybe two bodies a year after the legal age is bearable. It's still high, but anything past that, it's high. Meaning in her case, she already admitted openly, publicly, having at least 24 bodies, 11 athletes, 5 entertainers, 8 regulars. And this was back August 2018. So she was 24 at the time, roughly. So 18 to 24, that's 6 years. In my opinion, 2 bodies a year for a woman, that means she's able to have up to 12 bodies to not be considered promiscuous or um, excessively high body count. But at the time she had 24. She's twice that. So that's high. For a man, it can vary. Um, I put down four a year. I think it probably should also be closer to two because I don't believe in just having a bunch of meaningless sex. You should be dating with a purpose. That's what I believe. However, there's no telling how many people you would be dating, and I am open to sex. So, like I said, if you're dating reasonably, I don't think you should have more than four a year, to be honest. That sounds reasonable. Now, diving back to Brittany River. She said she was a hoe and a housewife, and what she did admit in both the Kevin Samuels thing and especially numerous times in DJ Akademiks thing was she admitted to changing, meaning she admitted to being wifey. She acted right. She played the part like I suspected she did because she had keys to the house. She was living with him. It wasn't just some she was flying out to see him. She was the boo thing. No, she had the keys. She was driving the cars. She lived with him. Now, people talk about her grooming him. That's possible. Yes. I mean, he was young, but let's just be real. He was young target. I believe women go off. They prefer a man with money versus a man with character, to be honest. A lot of women. Now, in PJ's case, and what happens to a lot of ballers and athletes whom are not considered high value by Kevin Samuel standards, which I agree with. Their money comes differently, and to be honest, the way they get paid, I don't think it's fair. I don't, I don't really see why they get paid so much money, whereas we have surgeons and doctors and soldiers that get paid significantly less. And in my opinion, their jobs are much more important. But hey, you be the judge of that. But it is what it is. They get paid what they get paid. Their money comes different. So be it. So you can be a young 18, 19-year-old making more than most people will in their lives in a single year. You're a prime target for most, if not all, women. Let's just be real. They don't care about the status. They don't really care. All they care about is getting to the bag. If they see you as a viable target, you'll blow your money on them. You'll supply them with that lifestyle. You're getting like 2, 3, 4 million a year. You're a target. They will, they will surpass your lack of age and character for that 4 or 5 plus million a year you're making. I very much believe that, which is why I also stated it in one of my last videos where a lot of the women that call in on Kevin Samuel's show, they don't really want a high value man by his standards. What they really want is they just want a sucker with a lot of money who's willing to blow it on them. That's my opinion. That's what a lot of them say. Because if you think about it, even though he makes it very clear he's not talking about ballers and athletes, a lot of what they say are ballers and athletes. The guys that'll just willy-nilly blow money on them, buy cars and houses for them, all that kind of stuff. Doctors and all that, they got money, but they don't got money like that. Not straight out the gate. Plus, they work long hours. Athletes and stuff also work long hours. But there's a big discrepancy in the pay. Let's just be clear. Now, in Brittany's case, she got to the bag. She was dating PJ. I don't know how much about her PJ knew, but apparently he must have knew something about her. Apparently, I heard he did know of her, the whole book and all that stuff, her past escapades. So he was aware. he was definitely aware of who she was. Everyone to this point, I believe, knows that by now. So, whether or not you want to call her, what can I say, a predator or whatever, PJ knew. Yes, he was young, but he obliged. He allowed her in. And like I said, she had keys to the house. She was living with this dude. They were in a serious relationship, and he shot the club up. Yes, he did that. So I'm sorry. He's 100% to blame for this situation to even exist. Let's just be real. Let's get that out the way. Now, the reason why he's to blame is because he chose to deal with her. In my opinion, men like myself, and I believe men wiser than myself will tell you don't even deal with women like Brittany Renner, period. Therefore, this whole situation would not even exist. That's why he's to blame, because this situation shouldn't even exist. Let's just be real. So, let me get to this something real quick. So, there's this story with her and PJ.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time. We'll get them next time.
So, they were together. Apparently, someone cheated on someone. Maybe they both cheated on each other. At the end of the day, she had this dude's baby and they broke up. Now that was on Brittany. Period. Now I already said this whole situation is on PJ for even opening the door to all this buffoonery. But like I said, Brittany Renner, she played the part. She turned into wifey. And yes, I do believe to some extent she did manipulate and or groom this man. Do not doubt the power of a woman. Women are the greatest manipulators on the face of this planet. Period. Civilization as it is today would not exist if it was not for the manipulation of women. Period. So yes, to some extent, she probably did groom him. She definitely worked her way in the door. She even admits to it. She says she played the wifey part. She cooked, she cleaned, she did the laundry. She was quiet. She shut up, sucked his thing. She said all this. She admitted this. And for the most part, some guys believe that if you're a certain type of man, a woman will do certain things for you that she won't do for other men. So maybe she made PJ think that she did change. I mean, she was honest. She was probably brutally honest about who she was. However, like I said, while she keeps, I'm pretty sure during the period where she conceived the child, she definitely was playing wifey. So there was deception, potentially. Because she then admits to resorting back to her old ways. So, in short, when she says she's the hoe and the housewife, that's exactly what she did. She played the housewife to get what she wanted and then resorted back to her ways. Now, this is what baffles me. There was like I could see in her when she was talking about that, there was a conflict that seemed to happen in her where the reason why she resorted back to her old ways was because she thought that being a housewife, having all those dirty, nasty thoughts, or doing all that sexual stuff wasn't proper. So she stopped being the housewife and then resorted back to her old ways because she thought it was the right thing to do. When in fact, like I said, there is the possibility she did all this to manipulate him. But if you also believe in the if you also believe that a woman will naturally rest in her feminine when she gets in a certain situation, I mean, who's to say that's not what happened? She was in a situation where PJ was able to take care of her, and she was in a situation where she could rest in her feminine. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me was when she still chose her career path over a family, a potential family. So she broke her family. There could have been cheating. We don't know that. But let's just assume there was no cheating because I believe there might have been cheating on both parts, so it negates each other. So let's just assume there was no cheating. However, she chose her career over the family that could have been. And she admitted that. She was like, well, I want to be able to support myself, etc., etc. Very much like a lot of modern women say, do they not? They choose their careers over family. Also, just to give a little bit more background, let me touch on some stuff before I continue. So this whole Jackson State issue, I was already aware of trolling, and to be honest, when I saw the post, I didn't take them seriously because I was like, oh, she's just trolling. Now, what I didn't know was her background with Jackson State. So this gives a lot more context to Brittany Renner, her situation. She's not just out here running around like people think she is. She was there for a reason. She was there for her money. So she was invited.
No, 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 no.
Yep, that's right. She was invited by Deion Sanders himself. Why? Why was she invited by Deion Sanders? Well, she mentioned something in that DJ Akademiks thing where she was like, I played soccer there. She's a former athlete. Okay, so it didn't take me too long to put two and two together. Obviously, I looked her up. Like I said, this isn't a deep dive, this is just a regular dive. So I looked her up, and this is what I could find because I couldn't find the stats on the original website when she played, but I was able to find this on another website. And oh, wait a second. Wait, what was that? So not only was she part of the team where her HBCU women's soccer team won their first ever soccer tournament, she was the freaking league MVP. Chick was talented. She was the league MVP. All tournament team. Brittany Renner, Jackson State, MVP. And people wonder why she was there. We wonder why Deion Sanders, Mr. Primetime himself, might have asked her to come do a motivational speech. Maybe it's because she literally led her team to the first ever championship of her women's soccer team there. And she was the MVP. Maybe it's because she also has some clout. Publicity, remember? Any publicity is good publicity. So not only is she hot, she's in the news. Her just being there, creating all those posts while at Jackson State. What did that yield? Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up. Oh yeah, the largest gathering. Right there. I believe the link to this is in the description. You can go check it out yourself. Primetime himself. He knows how to get people there. And there was a bit of an issue where he talks about there not being enough people consistently coming. But let's just be real, it was a success. And he wishes more people would do this consistently, meaning more people would come to the games because that's how a football program gets money. You get attention, you get notoriety, you get people to come see you, to want to come and get to come see you, then you're able to generate more revenue. You're able to get the AdSense, the games on TV, because now you're prime time. No pun intended. So yes, it was very much a success on Dion's part. He played the game. He knew exactly what he was doing. So again, people want to question, well, what was she doing there? Oh, she was preying on the young men. No, she was there because Dion invited her. Because she was in the news, she was relevant, she was hot at the moment, and she's an alumni that literally led her freaking team to the first ever championship and was a league MVP. She knew a thing or two. I don't even think people knew this about her. Like, come on now. Get your head out your ass. Think. This took like 5 minutes. Did not take me that long to find any of this. All this is, it's just on public platforms. She even talks about this. They talk about it on here, of course. She talked about it on the DJ Akademiks thing, and I immediately went and looked it up. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. That might have something to do with why she was invited there by Deion Sanders. And of course, I'm pretty sure she got paid for it. It's business. What did I say in the last video about Shiraz Hassan? He said he was talking about fame can be dangerous, but you have to know how to use it. You have to know how to monetize it. And she's doing exactly that. You don't think she's getting paid to go around to these places? So when she's trolling you guys and posting this stuff, what do you see here?
No.
These nuts. Got him.
Gotcha, bitch.
She got you guys. Because everybody was talking about her at Jackson State. I repeat that. Everybody was talking about her at Jackson State University. Publicity right there. At its finest. Exposure. It's business. Good business, if you ask me. Because once again, what was the outcome from that? The largest crowd in history at the HBCU at their homecoming. And I think it was like the 7th largest of all time or something like that. You can read the article. It was a success. Now, you might ask, like, why her? But I already explained why her. She was a MVP on a championship team. She helped put Jackson State on the map. She's an alumni. She's in the news. Even if people want to write her off as being a slut or whatever, she's still got more money than most people. Let's just be real. She's in the top, 5%? 10% in the country? I'd say that's a success. Not to mention, you guys talk about her being a slut. Fine. Where's the sex tapes? None of us can prove anything. I don't remember there being any sex tapes or anything out. But then again, it's good publicity, is it not? So long as you think she slept with all these rappers and stuff. I mean, I know of people that literally paid for fake relationships. Yes, that happens in the industry. I actually believe that's probably one of the things what Lori Harvey did with Future. Artists will literally, their managers or whatever, they strike up a deal. Hey, let's put you two together. You're gonna be like the cute couple or whatever. You're gonna generate a little bit of fame or publicity or whatever, and then at a later date you break up. I think Taylor Swift was known for this. I mean, not publicly, of course, but she would have like most of her hit songs were about her breaking up with her former boyfriend, which some of them actually alluded to, if not straight up said, it was contractual. It happens in the industry all the time. Like I said, any publicity or exposure is good publicity or exposure. So yes, artists in the industry, it is business to get in a fake relationship, to be seen with one another. Now, I also can't disprove, and it doesn't matter, because if she admits to having 24 bodies by the age of 24, what is that, right? 24 bodies by the age of 24. Man, oh man, that's one for each year on this planet at the time. I mean, so be it. That's her prerogative, and she has every right to. But here's the thing: you don't gotta deal with her. So what does it matter? Isn't that not what we tell dudes in the space anyway? Don't deal with women like her. Let her be her. It doesn't matter. Now, where it doesn't matter to us living our lives. Now, I could see where it can influence our daughters and stuff like that, which is where I would like to keep my daughter away from this. But I don't take it personal. That's her lifestyle. Because guess what? I'll also teach my daughter the consequences of that lifestyle. Hey, if you want to go the Brittany Renner route, this is what you can expect. It's going to be very hard for you to get a decent boyfriend. Because what does she complain about? She complained about PJ stepping out on her. Like I said, if it's true, I wouldn't blame him. I mean, she had more bodies than this dude probably did, probably still does. I mean, let's just be real. Like I said, she had 24 bodies when she was 24, which was back in 2018. I mean, she was on a roll. So you have a young, in his prime, rich as hell, PJ. I mean, come on, you don't think he's not going to sample something? He didn't marry her. They're not married. And this is another thing when it comes to this whole cheating thing. Is it really cheating if you're not even married? You're not married. It's fake commitment. Now, if he did it while he was married, he gets everything that comes to him, especially if he lied about it. I'm a person for just tell him up straight. Hey, I love you. You're the one I'm going to settle down with. You're the one I want to have my babies and everything. But hey, don't go through my phone. Don't look for it. I might have something on the side. Just don't go looking for it. I won't embarrass you. No outside kiss, no STDs. Just don't go looking for it. And if it does come back to bite us, I took the risk. I pay the consequences for it. Now, what I believe PJ did was he lied. He did the no. He did what fuck boys do, F boys. He lied. He was like, "Oh, baby, you're the only one I love. I love you, you and only you. I don't need none of these other hoes, etc., etc." And he went out there and did his own thing behind the scenes. Like I said, they're not married, but at the same time, let's just be real. That's a fuck boy. Just don't lie about it. Now, unfortunately, most women today just don't get it. They don't. They really. And I think it's funny because it's also projection, which is another thing about one of the things I want to touch on, Brittany Renner. Women today talk about how they want to have sex, or they can have sex like men, like sex is the same. What did Brittany Renner say? She said something that I absolutely believe was true. And the funny thing was, DJ Akademiks was trying to push back against it during his interview. She said she thought every dude she was with was the one, meaning she was in love or had an attachment to him. Like they weren't just a one night stand. Like each one of the dudes she was with was a potential husband to her. I believe there's some truth in that. Do you not? We men talk about how women get tied up when it comes to sex. There's emotional involvement when it comes to sex. Why would you not believe that? Why would you not believe what's coming out of her mouth? When we absolutely believe that men and women value sex differently, engage in sex differently. It just makes sense. And to be honest, like I said, she could have run into some fuckboys. I know of a personal story, a fairly recent personal story, where one of my homegirls was messing with a dude, and he ended up being a fuckboy because he lied, straight up lied. She was dating him with the intent to marry, and guess what happened? I think it was like a month or so in. Then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh well, I didn't really want to get that kind of bullshit." So yes, there are fuckboys out here, especially when it comes to industry. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. What does he say about ballers? They're some of the dumbest people in the industry. I think it's like 60% of them go broke. Not even like 5 or 10 years after they get out, after blowing through more money than most people make their entire lives. I mean, come on, people. So yes, it is very possible that she did have emotional ties to all the men she had sex with. But guess what? She probably got fucked over too. Someone probably lied to her and said, "Oh yeah, baby, you know, I love you," and all that other fuckboy shit. There might have been one or two where she was hot at the moment. But I do believe when she had sex with them, she probably did want a relationship with them, even though she probably gave it up fairly easy. I mean, let's just be real. Like we say here, when a woman wants to have sex with a man, she's typically trying to make an effort to get a relationship from him. Now, whether or not she gives it up easy or not, I mean, that's her prerogative. Like I said, different people have different mating strategies. Some people wait till marriage. Some people, after a certain amount of time of knowing someone, some people want to see the paperwork. I need to see if you got STDs or something. you know, I need to see some paperwork before anything happens. But there is some truth, a lot of truth in what she says. However, if you didn't notice, and what I do believe also is when a woman goes down that path, that's a lifestyle. Not a lot of men, you know, live that way, that fast money lifestyle. The lifestyle that ballers and entertainers and, let's just be honest, kingpins and drug dealers are known for, the fast money people. But it's fast money for a reason, because like I said, they usually blow through it quick. And that high octane lifestyle, not when it comes to status, but when it comes to blowing money, that high octane lifestyle is what a lot of women want, desire. So she got her baller, and I do believe her when she said she thought she had her one. Now, whether or not it was PJ turned to an F boy or PJ saw her game, because like I said, I'm pretty sure there was some manipulation going on there, because she admitted to playing wifey and then resorting back. So there could have been some manipulation there. But Either way, PJ shot up the club. Now it was on him. I don't feel the slightest bit sorry for him. Because, like I said, he shouldn't have been with her to begin with. He took the chance. He nibbled on it. Hey, it is what it is. There is some other stuff that she said in the interview, but when I go into the interviews, the Kevin Samuels interview and the DJ Akademiks interview, I like to break it down in Reflex. And if you don't know, the Reflex is like my reaction show. That's where I react to content, news. Deep dive is more so where I dive into a subject and kind of do a little bit of digging and then come to a conclusion. So the funny thing about the Brittany Renner situation is she's more about her business than people think. People just think she's a bimbo. She's dumb. Like I said, you're not a dumb bimbo if you're literally the freaking MVP. You lead your team to a first ever championship at a HBCU. You're not some random bimbo. She's not dumb. She probably learned from the Kim K rise and the Shiraz Hassan situation. And she did say this in this Kevin Samuels thing. She took on that role. She started trolling because it got her more followers. It got her on World Star. She gained a following. I didn't know who she was till the PJ thing. So it was effective because now I know who she is. Now she's back in the tabloids apparently. Because apparently she did have a peak sometime between 2010 and 15 or something like that. So now she's back in the news successfully. She's being paid to go see Deion Sanders himself at her alma mater. So she's more complicated than people want to give her credit. And I'll give her credit. Of course, you can read this. The link is in the description. It talks about how she, was into fitness after she left athletics. She was a sales girl, caregiver, Zoomer instructor. None of that makes the kind of money she has today. Let's just be real. She got $500K net worth. Like I said, she's not a millionaire, but that's higher than most. Most Americans living in debt. Let's just be real. Student loan debt, car debt, house debt, still paying for your mortgage. She's net positive, meaning she got more money or asset value or equity than she does have debt. So she's ahead of the curve. Like I said, when it comes to business, she did what she had to do. But when it comes to family, I don't agree with it whatsoever. Period. Because she went the single mom, baby mama route. PJ messed up getting with her. She messed up wrecking her family. And it will come back to bite her. That is what I believe. It will come back to bite her. Let me see here. I'll go ahead and put the link in just in case anyone joins. But yeah, this situation was very interesting. And of course, there's always more. But people like to jump to conclusions. I don't like to jump to conclusions. Sure, she puts out explicit content. Great. You're right. She does do that. Or does she? Oh, wait. I don't think she has OnlyFans. I don't even think she has a sex tape. Matter of fact, I've never seen a nude of this girl. I haven't looked for it, but I don't think there is a nude of this girl online. So at least she's keeping it somewhat classy. The most you can find is her book, which, if I'm just being honest, anyone can write a sex story like 50 Shades of Grey, be very explicit, and it not be true. But that's the shadiness of the industry, is it not? I mean, the guys aren't gonna lie and say they didn't smash. I mean, they take that publicity as well. What was it? She said she didn't sleep with 6ix9ine. You think 6ix9ine denied when people were alluding or saying he smashed? Why would he? I mean, there's no point. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she literally told him, "Don't deny it. No, 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 no. Let me get all that. Let me get all that smoke." She feeds she feeds off the hate. She literally feeds off of it. It's brilliant. And she makes money from it. She is monetizing it effectively, at least somewhat effectively. I don't know if you know exactly the percentages or whatever, but she is monetizing it effectively, much more than we are.
Another one, and another one, and another one, and another one.
And you know what? She's gonna keep doing this. She's gonna keep trolling. People are gonna keep replying. There's gonna be another story to come out. She might even start dating someone else, another rapper or famous person. I, I wouldn't be surprised if she's seen with Future.
Another one, and another one, and another one,
I mean,
another one.
yeah, she is gonna troll the hell out of everybody, and gonna be laughing to the bank. It's like DJ said, she might have some traumas. I do believe that. She might have some hurt, but she making money. And to some extent, she don't give a damn what people think about her. She should, because like I said, it will most likely come back to bite her. But right now, she don't give a shit. She don't care. She said, "Y'all can think what y'all want." She don't care.
Nope.
I can do that to some extent. Like I don't really care too much what people think, but I do know that what people think of me is important when it comes to business and certain things. So I do like it. I like to keep my image positive, as positive as possible. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie for anyone. I'm gonna speak my truth, and I'll continue to do that. I don't think there's anything else I can actually put into this situation. Because I already know what most people already think about her anyway.
Be gone, fuck!
And that's just how the internet is. There's always trolls, you know, doing dumb stuff, saying the dumbest stuff. And what are they doing in their own life? Nothing. They don't got nothing to show. But they'll look at a troll like Brittany Renner.
Be gone, fuck!
Failing in their own life. So again, back to the Brittany and the PJ situation. Yes, PJ failed. He failed by even dealing with her. He failed straight off the gate. He failed before anything even happened, to be honest. He failed when he said yes. He failed when he gave her the keys to the house. Absolute failure. And he thought he was going to be the one to change her. Well, PJ, like I said, there is a good chance she probably played you. There is a real good chance.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Because you weren't that guy. You really weren't. Sorry.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
She was up. There is a good chance she was in that crib. And things turned south. Like she said, she played wifey. And then, yep, things changed right back. There could have been some internal conflicts. I'll have to get back into it when I do the Reflex. I'm actually able to react in real time to the interviews, even though I do have some notes. But I do believe Brittany Renner is a good example of the everyday modern woman, or at least what the everyday modern woman would kind of like to achieve, which is the money and the fame. Maybe not necessarily the way she did, because like I said in the fame episode, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can do the Dark Knight route. Not everybody can play the villain and is willing to swallow that and what comes with it. Not everybody's a Kim K and a Brittany Renner. But they do want that status. They do want the money to come with it. And they do want the ability to be in these places with these men so they can take their shots at all the ballers they want. So that has been a bit of a dive on what I think about this whole Brittany situation. I think she's definitely more talented than what people believe. She definitely did what she had to do to monetize, which there is a clip where she's on a radio station talking about providing for her family and everything. So there was a reason for it. But like I said, I just don't agree with the methods, the playing the villain part. But she did what she had to do. Now, whether or not people want to believe it, let's just be real. You don't even know how many bodies the average woman has. Let's just be real. And you'll never know. You can speculate. Let's just be real. So links in the description below. Make sure you go check out the videos link. Go check out the interviews, the DJ Akademiks interview. It's on Spotify, the full interview. There is a clip also on YouTube, which I don't think that clip does justice because there's been a lot of reactions to that clip. But it was just a specific clip where DJ Ak is kind of digging into her. But if you go watch the full interview, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because there was a lot more truth and honesty outside of just that clip that DJ put on YouTube. So go check out the Spotify interview. It's about an hour or some change. But she says a lot of truth. More truth than cap. Of course, like I said, there is the potential where when she did play the housewife, she was manipulating. She was playing the part to get in the door. So keep that in mind. Of course, she's not going to verbalize that if that's what it is because, she's real. People, even though she plays the villain, people still, when they can, they like to be seen as not being a total dick. Even if she was manipulating him or playing the part, she's not going to frame it like that. She's going to frame it as in, oh, I thought he was the one, and I did what I thought I had to do to be his wife, and I cooked and cleaned and shut up and sucked him off and did all that stuff. So I did what I had to do and all this other stuff. And hold on, let me get the Let me get the right music. I did what I had to do because I thought he was the one. I thought he was my man. I thought we lived forever. I thought he was my guy. And,
Nope.
yeah. And of course, after the baby,
Nope.
yeah. Like I said, some things can't be explained, and that's where the BS comes in. That's where some of the cap comes in. But also, I am aware, like most of my friends growing up, I love being around women, so I kind of know how girls like to twist truths. They like to stay in the positive at times, and they like to, of course, there's the deflection stuff. You see this in Kevin Samuels stuff where women say one thing and then he dives into it, and then the truth really comes out. So they will always try to frame it in a positive to keep themselves in the positive, to be seen as the victim. And it's normal, to be honest. Like I can't say how intentional it is because women have literally evolved to be manipulators. I mean, that's how they survive. They get with a man and they get that man to take care of them. That's throughout history. And men have a natural desire to do that. But I can't say how intentional it is or unintentional it is. But I am aware of it. I am very much aware. So let me see here. I'm gonna have fun with that little the body count thing. Everybody likes to talk about body counts and doesn't matter. What did I say? So for women, upper limit, if you go by the year, 2 bodies a year. For men, upper limit, 4 bodies a year, even though I still think that's high. I think 2 bodies, 2 to 1 bodies is reasonable for most people. But like I said, this is an upper limit thing. When it comes to time, you're in the danger zone if within a quarter, and a quarter is 3 months. Because mind you, if you're dating with a purpose, you're not just jumping from one person to one person, rapidly at least. You're vetting people before you're intimate. That sometimes vetting can take time. Sometimes it might take a week, depending on how much time you have with a person. Sometimes it might take a month or two. So I put a time thing on there too, where for women, you have 1 to 1.5 bodies per quarter, meaning for the year, your upper limit is 2 bodies. But if for some reason you go out, have a one night stand, within a quarter, within a 3 month period, you got 2 bodies in 3 months, now you're in the danger zone. You see what I'm saying? Like you had a excessively high amount, like that should have been for the year, but you did it in a quarter. So that's a danger zone thing. Same for men, 2.5 bodies per quarter or 3 bodies per quarter. So in a 3 month period, you had more than 2 bodies, you're in the danger zones. It's split up between oral and uh, backdoors sex and regular sex. That counts as one. Mutual pleasure and hand jobs and that kind of thing is like counts as 0.5. Because let's be real, sometimes people don't go all the way, but y'all do all that in between crap. And yes, ladies, I know y'all like to monkey branch. You like to leave one dude and then get back with him a month or two later so he can scratch your itch. Well, guess what? Booty calls from exes and rekindlings, that counts as an additional body. So yes, you get with a guy the first quarter of the year, y'all break up, y'all hook back up at the end of the year, and you already dated a guy in between him. He might have dated a girl in between you. That counts as another body. Because I know the tactic. Y'all, y'all try to go back to the same dudes to keep the body count low, but you might as well be dating a new dude. It's intentional. I know the tactics. I'm aware of it. Let me see here. So that has been a bit of a dive. Like I said, it's not a deep dive. Everything has been what I've been able to find online. All the links are in the description. You can find all this stuff yourself. You can look this up. It took me like 5-10 minutes. All these articles are available on Google. And this should be available on YouTube if they don't flag me, because I did say some. I know people talk about the little keywords and whatnot. I definitely said some of those words I shouldn't have said. Definitely. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna just go ahead and shut it down here. Until next time, you guys have a lovely night. I hope you enjoyed.